Oh, I didn't have that on. Darn it. I'm going to do that again. Hold on. That kind of kills the mood there. Hold on. One more try. All right. So now we'll do it. Here we go. Ooh, see, I like that. It's so much nicer. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the show. We are early. I apologize for coming on early for those of you guys that are like, what? You're going to ruin my Saturday. I'm so totally sorry. Stefan, we'll get to yours in a second. We got a couple things we want to run through here real quick before we get going.
Yep.
How was your week?
Wonderful. Beautiful week. Amazing week.
That's such a lie. That's such a lie. I love it that you can lie so well. You lie like a dog. So check this out. This is something I wanted to bring up today that I thought was interesting. Oh, hey, stay on. This was a question that popped up on the Mazda Miata video. Remember the MX-5 that we did?
Yes.
It says, educate me. I thought Bose was supposed to be a superior quality speaker. I know the Miata is a small car, but not even an 8-inch sub? All right. Let's take this as for what it is. When we do a video, we are working for a customer. Mm-hmm. And we kind of go through and explain at the beginning of the video why things are the way they are so that we don't have to field questions kind of like this, where it's like, and there was a couple questions on this video, and this is kind of why I thought it'd be a good point to bring this up. Someone's like, why didn't you go for Cal? Kenwood is good, but it's, there's other brands that are better. And some of you guys, thankfully, which I totally appreciate, when you answer these questions for these people. Yeah. Meaning you're not rude, you're nice, you paid attention to the video and you respond back kindly and explain to the person asking the question. I love it when you guys do that to me because it saves me the headache of having to go back in and do it. And some of you guys do a really good job at it, by the way. I wanted to thank you. Someone responded in this video to this question. Hang on, I will. Gonzo123. Nope. Gonzo. Bose sucks. My Infinity Bose needs re-EQ. A subwoofer added and still is not as loud as I want it. So, and there again, he took it for what it was and answered the gentleman's questions, which I appreciate. Anyways, to answer the original question was Bose. Bose is a premium audio system as well as many others. Infinity, Lexicon, Boston Acoustic, Beats by Dre. It's just to name a couple because Saturday in my head isn't thinking like that. These are all really good systems for average people. Mm-hmm. If you're watching this show, chances are good you're a little bit above average in the audio realm. You're like here, and this is Bose. Bose is not bad, but the story I often tell people when I think of Bose is my daughter Haley, which some of you guys know, Boring Life of Dean and Haley. If you don't, you can check us out there. Subscribe. We went to the mall, and there's a Bose store in our mall. And they were like, hey, man, come in. And this is when Batman versus Superman was coming out. And they had a trailer. It had like a 10-minute trailer. And like, come in and check this out. I'm a DC superhero fan as well as Marvel. And if you're going to tell me you got 10 minutes of, I'm like, can we please? Yeah. Haley's like, yeah, let's go, Dad. Why not? So we go in there, we sit down, and we Bose it out, man. And the guy's behind us like this. We get done, and I'm like, I look at Haley, and she looks at me, and I know that look. And I said, man, thank you. That sounded great. I was really just here to check out the headphones, but, thanks. Thank you. Thank you for the demo. So we politely left the store, and we're going down the escalator, and it's kind of quiet. I can tell that's what she does when she's thinking of how she wants to word something. She goes, Dad. I said, yeah. She goes, was that supposed to sound good? Mm-hmm. And I go, well, what do you think? She goes, I think it sounded terrible. I said, well, there you go. You have your answer. Does it sound terrible? Now, it sounded terrible to her. Well, let's kind of put that in where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. All right. She has grown up her whole life listening to, as soon as the TV turns on, the surround turns on. It's amplified on every channel. The speakers that she used are Morel. She's got Morel home audio. Because that's what I have. There's two 12-inch cabinets in the corner. She knows what deep bass sounds like. There's surrounds in the ceiling. So she knows what it's supposed to sound like or what she likes to listen to. Mm-hmm. All right. And that was not it. That was just a whole bunch of crap thrown at your face. It's like somebody taking 10 colors of paint and going to her. to her.
Yeah.
She didn't like the way it sounded because she's used to listening to something a bit more better. More better. So to answer his question, yes, the Bose system wasn't bad. I actually thought that car sounded pretty good. And I tried to talk the customer out of upgrading it, but back to what we talked about in the video, he was very specific about what he wanted. And this is kind of answer all the other questions that were asked is he wanted a high-res audio system labeled high-res audio, meaning every product that we put in the car had to have the certification from the high-res audio gods that call it high-res audio. That is not to say that a Focal speaker or a Hertz speaker or any other brand out there wouldn't have worked in this car. However, it wouldn't have worked for this customer because he wanted that badge that said, these people have been certified by the High-Res Audio Society, paid the money, got to listen to, and then there it was. And he wanted a bookshelf sounding speaker. And the other thing too is the guy's like 6'2". The car is like for Fernando. And there was no room for a subwoofer anywhere in the car, which he was perfectly fine with because there again, he was going for that bookshelf sound. He wanted to pretend like he was at his house and he had his bookshelves and he was listening to it while I was driving. So the deep bass wasn't that important to him. He wasn't. He wanted that. Didn't even care about that. Which we covered in the video.
Right.
So for those of you that weren't paying attention, this is the life of a retailer.
Real.
These are the things. Yes, well, we love to put the best of the best. Yes, but we also need to make the customer happy. If you decide to go with us one day, which we'll gladly be thankful that you do, know that whatever we put in your car is exactly what you're hoping us to put in. Why is there an empty hook over there? What happened? That's gonna bug me. So, anyways,
and the end of the day is like every customer has a budget, right? I would love to put $10,000 in every car.
Well, it really wasn't even a budget issue for this. It was a criteria of like he had to have.
No, but like somewhat.
Let me tell you what, the mid bass in this car sounded phenomenal.
That was amazing. Yes.
Believe it or not, it outperformed the Bose system. Easily handled that Bose system. We were done. We sat in the car and both of us were just like, wow, that is really nice. Now, someone had asked, it'd be nice to hear a before and after on that. We filmed that thing like a month ago, and yes, it would have been nice to have a before and after. But to be honest with you, we weren't 100% sure how that was going to turn out. I mean, it was definitely one of those situations where it was like, man, we didn't know because it's not what we normally do. Normally, we would have done Focal or whatever in the car.
All right, car audio, what's up? Nice.
So the reason why I have my phone out today is so that we can show you guys a couple things. A lot of people ask, this gentleman here, Stefan, is having a hard time getting his.
Well, let me ask the question. Hello, Dean. I cannot get an entire image with my Kenwood DSP.
Center image.
Yes.
It's a center image with.
Yes.
I cannot get a center image with my Kenwood DSP, whatever I try. All right. So here's. Obviously, I don't have a Kenwood that I can pop up on here and show you guys what it looks like. But this is the playlist that we use for generating a center channel. This track right here, which it's going to try to play, and we'll pull it up big screen here. This is called My Disc from Sheffield Labs. And on this, if you have iTunes, you can and you're paying for it, it's just one of your things. It's called Polarity Pulse. And what it does, you guys heard in the videos before, it goes pop, 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 pop. All right. The reason why this is important, you're going to need this song, which we'll get to in a second, and you'll need this one right here. Hold on, let me pull this one up. This is 3 people describing position, and both of these can be found on the My Disc from Sheffield Labs. Now, I would just download these 2 tracks personally, not the whole disc, because there's a whole bunch of stuff on the disc that you don't want randomly coming through your playlist. The pop, pop, pop thing's enough to make you have a heart attack if you're not careful. All right. So here's what I suggest doing is, for one, don't overthink it. It's a radio. It's only going to be so good. 2, fade it to the front. Put your passenger side at 0. All right, just leave it at 0. Start playing the Polarity Pop track and make sure your levels are all set to 0 as well. All right. Because you can play with those a little bit when you're done. Start playing that Polarity Pop track. Immediately, it's going to sound like it's coming from the driver's corner. as you start moving the distance on the driver's side, it should start to move slowly but surely towards the center of the dash. Now, depending on how it gets there, it might start to do this a little bit, and that's where you'll go into your level control and turn the level down to compensate for that extra distance. It's a radio. It's not going to be super like balls on dead accurate. You're just going to get close, meaning you should be able to get it to sound like it's coming from the center, but it might be wider than you normally like a DSP where you can get a nice small tight center. That's it. Then fade the rears back on. Whatever this speaker is, just kind of guess the distance and then apply that to the rear if you need to, or just leave them turned down a little bit. The volume will offset any interference they're going to have with the front. That'll get you the center image. I mean, that's literally what we do on every radio that comes through here. If the factory default on the Kenwood doesn't work, we just did it on this. What was that? The Dodge that was here, the Dodge Ram that was here. I got it to where it sounded like it was pretty close to where it needed to be in the center, and then I adjusted the level control for that speaker, turned it down a little bit, which actually helped a lot because it just sounded like everything was coming from that 3.5 in the corner of the dash. It sucked, and that was it. Went to Polarity Pops, pop, just kept moving it until it got where it needed to be. Yeah. And you can do the same with the rear too. I mean, it's all the same, but that's the easiest way to do it. Now, when the next track, the people telling you where they're at, just go right to the middle where she's talking. And what'll usually happen is the Polarity Pops will usually sound a little bit off to the driver's side, and she should sound a little bit off into the center. So usually there's a little bit of difference. Sometimes they'll line up, but sometimes they're a little bit off. But those two tracks should get you where you need to be. Give that a go. That's all I got.
All right. Jesus, do you recommend using bass boost on a bass amplifier?
Yes. Yeah. Always. I love Punch EQ, man.
Yes.
From a Rockford? Oh, I use it all the time.
Okay.
What? I mean, bass boost. I love bass boost. Who doesn't like bass boost?
Yeah.
Bass boost is fun. I
mean,
that's really kind of the whole thing of the Epicenter. Speaking of the Epicenter, this show is brought to you by Audio Control.
Yeah.
If you'd like to find out about some Audio Control products, one of the new products that has just about ready to release is this guy right here. That's right, the Epicenter Special Edition. I wonder if that's mine in that picture. Ooh, it's not. I'll tell you, it's not. That's totally 100% fake. They got one of the best graphic artists there. But yeah, it's available, or it's starting to ship now. So if you want one of 5,000, make sure you check that out. And if you haven't seen one yet, we do have one.
We do have one. It's right there.
Let me go grab it real quick.
Yeah.
Ask another question, Fernando.
All right. Hang on. I've been waiting for the video with those speakers. Super excited. With the Kenwoods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there it is right there. Ooh. Yeah.
All right, hang on. Put it right here.
I'm going to put it right there. Move this out of the way. What number camera is that? 3?
Oh, man. You just put your fingerprints.
I put my fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking for the frame for it last night. So it'll go on the wall behind us. So I'm pretty excited. So you got, let me do this so you can. Ooh.
Oh, that's perfect.
There you go, right there. Ooh. Yeah, that's it.
Limited edition, baby.
Yep. 000. Yeah. Yeah, I had to work really hard to get that one. Let me tell you what.
Not really. Not really.
No, you missed this. I went like this. Anyways, hey, do me a favor. Stay tuned till later in the show. We have this guy also that we're going to talk about. So just we'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyways.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I believe bass boost will give you distortion.
And that's where you're wrong. Okay. And why are you wrong, you say? Because, no. Here's the thing. You have bass boost, you have gain control. If you turn up the bass boost, you have to turn on the gain control. So it's not going to give you distortion. It will give you distortion if you don't find the mix between the two. So if you put a DD1 in there, or you have an amp with a distortion detector, or you have an oscilloscope, okay, remember, it's basically some form of a EQ. That's all it is. So if you're turning up bass boost on your amplifier, or if you're turning up bass on your radio's bass boost, you're doing the same damn thing. There's no difference between the two. The difference is that bass boost is usually got a predetermined Q factor on it, which is taking a specific frequency. So for the example, like I said, I like punch EQ. It's a 45 dB. It's set to 45 dB center frequency with a wide Q. And as you turn it up, it gives you a fatter, fuller sound. Okay. When you do that on the amplifier, as low as like a prime R2 right there that has a distortion detector built into it, as you turn that up, you'll notice that, yeah, the distortion light starts to come on. So if you want the fatter, fuller sound, you turn the gain down some to get that fatter, fuller sound. Okay. So volume-wise, it's going to sound almost the same. Thickness of the bass is what you're changing. So yes, it's a life delicate balance. Help, what do the audio controls DQ, DX do? Could you pull them up on there real quick?
Yes, of course.
We'll get to that. Let me take it while you're doing that. Let me pull through this. Oh, I can't wait for the next video. Why you cut on Fernando, Dean? Let the man talk. What weren't you saying? Did I cut you off?
What do
I
say?
apologize if I cut you off.
Oh,
I didn't even know I did that. I feel terrible now.
DQ what?
DQ DX. Keep going. Go back. It'll be. It won't. It'll be in the. That's yeah. Try that.
Yeah, I gotta be here.
Yeah.
DQ
DQ DX. Click on that. We'll go here real quick. You're on.
It's going.
You're
All
on
right.
4. So let's go to 4. There it is, the DQ DX. Ooh, what could that possibly do, you ask? All right, so here's the thing. Not everybody likes a laptop to, like Fernando has sitting right here, likes a laptop plugged into their processor. Sometimes software scares the hell out of people, which is totally understandable. Plus, you have that price tag that's associated with software. So what the DQ DX does is it is a line level. And they also, I'm sorry, yeah, it's a high. Oh no, it is line level. Sorry, they have line. I'm thinking of the DQ61,
Yes.
which is the same as this, just it is high level. So you have the high level DQ61, and you have the line level DQ DX. Think of this as a form of analog signal processor. I won't say full DSP, but it is very close. It's missing the crossovers. But what you're going to have here is a 6-band. Here, just click on it so that it stops. Yeah, there you go. You're going to have a 7-band. I couldn't even tell. You have 7 bands for front, 7 bands for rear, 7 bands for sub. And they are different frequencies. They're not all the same bands. Like the subwoofer channels have different frequencies than the high channels. It's a analog style EQ. So it's an old school knob. So for those of you that are more comfortable with knobs, DQ DX. Now, it is also going to have a basic time alignment feature. So it is going to allow you to add delay to one of the channels, like what we were talking about when we're with the Kenwood radios, how you just leave this one at 0 and you adjust the delay out. Because what you're doing is just milliseconds at that point. So it gives you a millisecond adjustment so that you can get a center channel sound out of it. So the idea is that it's just a basic, think of it as an analog DSP. You have input gain control and you have output gain control as well, which is kind of nice. So you can match it up with the signal coming out of your radio, get all those gains right, and then it has basically a line driver built into it. So if you want a hotter signal to go into your amplifier, you can do that. So it's a really nice piece. I just, the regular DSPs have kind of overshadowed it because a lot of people go with that, but it's not, we understand regular DSP ain't for everybody.
All right. Dean,
yes.
Do you have to have the Bluetooth module in order to use an iPad app for tuning in the audio control DM608?
Yes, unfortunately you do. That is what gives you access to it. I'm not going to lie, guys. Just plug it into the laptop. I mean,
it's so much
easier. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Bluetooth is slow. I mean, it's cool. It's convenient if you're trying to change like presets. But when you're trying
if you want to tweak it, like, okay, I'm going to change here, I'm going to change that.
Little adjustments here and there.
But if you're going to start tuning it,
But if I had to sit here and tune a car from 0 to 100, I would have no hair left. It's just too slow for me.
All right. Hey, guys, before I start watching you, I put components in the rear. Was that a mistake? The car is a Mazda sedan.
No, not at all. There's no reason why you shouldn't. So here's why we don't put a lot of components in the back of cars. It usually comes down to speaker location. not everybody wants to do the same thing. So we need to talk to the end user and find out what the goal of their system is. For example, I had a gentleman come in this week with a Toyota Tundra. We've never worked on one of those before. No, we have plenty of them. And it has the six channels of JBL up front, the 4 channels of JBL in the back. So we had the conversation. What is the most important thing in your car? And we use like, I want a really great front stage. I want it loud, but I also have kids and they sit in the back and they like to listen to their stuff. And I'm like, how loud do we want it back there for them? And what's more important? So in that particular truck, the tweeter location, if you're sitting here, the tweeter location is like right there. It's terrible. It's like this far away from your head. The grill looks like it's angled back, but we know it's not. It's actually coming straight into the door. So it's not fun for you, the driver, if you have this loud ass tweeter 12 inches from your head and your tweeter is another 2.5 feet away. So even though they probably use a very narrow band tweeter back there, most of the tweeters we're going to put in aren't that narrow of a band because they're designed to couple with the mid-range. So in this particular instance, we will talk you into, if possible, going with a coaxial that's down low in the door, and if possible, may have a swivel on it that we can aim back towards the listener, which would give them good sound. Now, your car, I'm assuming, is kind of like the Honda Accord. It might be a tweeter in the door. Like a Honda has tweeters in the rear deck. There's 6.5 in a tweeter, super close to one another. It doesn't matter if we go with a component or a coaxial. It's basically going to be the same sound. It's not like we're widening the sound stage. But no, there's no reason not to do it. One other thing I'll add into this before we move on to the next question is it also depends on how loud of a system you're trying to do. So, for example, back to that Toyota Tundra for a minute. If he was buying a Bobby Gately box, and he's buying that new 4.8 box that he just came out with for the Tundra, and he's like, dude, I want this bitch to pound, and I want to hear it a mile away. Well, guess what? He's getting tweeters in the back because he doesn't care about is my sound coming from the center of my dash? It sounds like it's kind of low into the left. He doesn't give a shit about any of that. He wants this thing to just go, ah! Okay, wow. So there again, there's no right or wrong in car audio. It's just what works for you.
All right.
Oh, there is wrong in car stereo. I take that back. But
totally.
You know, there's many layers, as Shrek would say.
I was looking into the Epicenter yesterday, considering if it will work for a factory integration.
If you're meaning, can I put it into a factory amplifier and like loop it through to my factory amplifier? And the answer to that, of course, is no. If you're looking from the point of view of can I use it as an integration device so that I can add a subwoofer, the answer is still no. However, the answer will be yes in November when the Epicenter Micro comes out. The Epicenter Micro is going to be an integration device, which I'd show you, but it's in Fernando's car right now. It's going to be an integration style Epicenter that is going to have high level as well as line level input. It's also going to have load resistors. If you haven't seen an Epicenter LC2i Pro, if you haven't seen an LC2i Pro, it's basically smaller than an LC2i Pro, but the same idea. It's made for integration into a factory stereo, but Epicenter. So it's going to be pretty awesome. We're super excited. We should have the video up next week if you want to see it in action.
What's our Fan of the Truth? Hang on.
Jackie Chan or Jet Li?
Jet Li. Would you recommend an individual invest in an RTA just for one-time use as a shop around?
Do not have
available. Yeah.
Okay, so I know why you picked that. So here's the thing. I don't really think of anything as a one-time use per se. I mean, you're going to be doing car audio for a long time. You're going to be doing it for your friends. You're going to help your friends. You're going to end up being the one guy that knows what the hell he's talking about, right? Yeah. So that's why we came up with the IRTA2.
Oh, yeah, I have a hard time.
I know, I'm having a tough time. This is going to be an RTA that is going to allow you to look at the electrical signal. Now, if you're looking for an RTA that'll help you look at the audio signal, for a reasonable amount of money, that is going to be the iTest mic. The iTest mic is from Audio Control. Now, both of these are designed to work with some form of an iDevice with a lightning connector. This guy here is, I don't know, $130. You can mount it right in the seat, plug in an iPad, take the iPad and stick it to the window, That's right. Just stick the iPad to get a suction cup, stick the iPad right to the window. You can sit outside the car and you can do all your adjustments looking at it on the window. It's super cool and it works like a champ. So this is for after. This will be for before. So this will allow you to look at the signals you're tapping into. And this is 2-channel also. This is the only 2-channel affordable electrical signal RTA out there. Now you do need an iPad for this to work, or an iDevice for it to work, because that is what it's interfacing with to give you the screen. And that's why it's affordable, because if we had to provide it with the screen, then you'd be talking about a hell of a lot more money. So that's that. But yes, you can buy both of these. This is going to have a retail of about $250. I think this is one under right around $150. So for $400, you could have everything you needed to do for an RTA to tune anybody's car. You, your friends, the guy next door, whatever you wanted to do. So that's what you got going on for you. So should you buy one? I don't know, but we'd appreciate it. Go up to that one right there. There you go. Jason Walters, $5. What a guy! Thank you so much, Jason. How often do you wire speakers to 2 ohm instead of 4? And if so, do you must replace stock wire if speed wire is used? No, the size of the wire doesn't matter. The size of the wire isn't going to matter. So honestly, we don't use that many 2 ohm speakers. Like, I could probably think really hard of the 2 ohm speakers that we've done this year, which isn't that many. Blam, we did a Blam system where we went with all 2 ohm speakers. But most of the time we are using 4 ohm speakers. And even if you do use 2 ohm speakers, your wiring is sufficient. I mean, you're not running tons of voltage through it.
All right. Dean.
Yes.
What RTA iOS app and microphone do you recommend for tuning the DM608?
So I think what we just talked about,
exactly.
When you buy the audio control, you get, hold on. Since you're asking, and I have my phone plugged in today. Where's it at? It's on my iPad. All right, hold on.
You don't have it?
I don't know if I don't really ever use my phone.
Okay.
But I use my iPad all the time.
It's the same thing.
I was showing Jeff how to use a DSR-1 the other day.
Save some presets.
Later, I'll get through this. All right. It's going to lock up on me now. Right here. It's coming.
It's coming. Just wait.
I think it was an Android device screwing up the demo. Okay, click it. All right. Ooh, who's that? Okay. Let's turn this off here. So this is the Studio 6 app for the IRTA. You can buy it. It's like $5. And when you plug in the IRTA, it'll say there's a software device connected, and this is what you're looking at. I use this. We can use this with both the IRTA and the. You can use this with all of it. Like our RTA works with it. Their RTA works with it. Everyone's RTA works with it. Keep in mind that this will use the microphone that's built into it. So even if you don't use, there's ways that you can kind of finagle this into your car and just use this. A couple of the other apps that I've been playing with that I really like is this Spectrum RTA app, which is right here. This is what you might have seen in some of the videos that we've been using. Is this one. Shut off the question.
All right.
You can see across the bottom here, you can change the resolution of the equalizer. You can bring over and check out the high points. You can change it to a line style, which is also pretty cool. And you can turn on peaks. Which you could turn on peaks on the other one as well. So they're both pretty cool. But,
yeah. All right. So, Matt, you got to just call Paul, set an appointment again, and we can put the bass down. No problem.
Oh, you want a bass down?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, fellas, would you suggest
if you're still in town Monday, we could probably just get you in real quick on Monday.
Yeah, I think they come. They going back today.
Oh,
I don't remember, but yeah,
bummer.
coaxial for the treble.
Yeah. Hey, fellas, would you suggest on a Dodge Nitro to add coaxial for extra treble in front? Yeah. I mean, if it's a Nitro that's Dodge, what does it have up in the dash?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, like we did a video not too long ago in the Jeep Wrangler. It says the cheapest, easiest way to, or no, it wasn't a Wrangler, it was a Challenger. How to make your Dodge sound better, the cheapest way to make your Dodge sound better.
3.5.
And if it had the base model stereo, I mean, non-Alpine, non-premium audio of any kind, up in the dash, you have a generic 4-ohm 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And we were using the Kenwood Exelon C3s. Pull out those, drop these in place. It's a more efficient speaker, and it has a tweeter, and it immediately make this just sound like night and day better.
All right, 2022 hybrid LE 6 speakers. Can I install in a hybrid? Also, is there an adapter so I can get into the DM608? We'll buy this car soon. My car got stolen last week. The insurance usually cover car audio.
It depends. If the car audio is properly installed as well as there's pictures, most of the time, yeah. If you have, but I would always recommend talking with your insurance agent before you, if you're going to do an upgrade like that, just see what it is to cover it. Sometimes they'll ask you to do
policy,
an extra policy for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can install in a hybrid though, but as far as adapters and stuff like that, no, there isn't anything at the moment. No. So moving on.
Yeah.
Click another one.
All right.
All right. You're having a hard time, man.
No, I'm trying to read it, and then I just, yeah.
All right. Well, just move on. Hi, I got an 05 STS Caddy with Bose. I want to upgrade the whole system. I want high res. Any suggestions? If you want high res, well, you need something that says high res on it. Check out the Kenwood Exelon stuff. It's all high res compatible. Also, Audison does pay for Audison does pay for high res certification as well. Alpine has it. Most of the time, it's going to be your Japanese brands, unless you're just looking for something that has a 40 hertz frequency response. In which case, you just go into any one of the speaker manufacturers' websites and see what they have for ratings.
All right. I find that running the EQ flat sounds best with the EDM, as the EDM is very bright. Would you agree?
I'm not a big fan of EDM, so I understand what you're saying, though. And yeah, and the reason for that is that music is recorded when the mixer makes the music, okay? They're going for a target sound. And that means that there is compression done, there's loudness put in, there's peaks and valleys and dips, and it's not like the music is recorded flat. So the loudness or the equalization that you're looking for may already be there. So sometimes, which is, I know, mind-blowing for some people, like, what, you're doing crazy talk. But yeah, so playing it flat, there's nothing wrong with doing that. The gain is already there. It's just a matter of letting the speakers play it out. So,
all right. April. Thank you for the 5, man.
What does that say? Dean, when are you going to do a class of actually showing a full tuning and showing your house curve? And thank you for answering all my questions. We just purchased the DM608 per your recommendation. I don't know if I'll ever do one totally because it would take hours. Like, Ken's Educar classes that he does, which is a good place to go if you want to close the question. Yeah. You can go here at Educar training at teachable.com. He has 3 great classes. They're like $20 a piece, and they're about an hour long. He does a really good job of walking you through how to set up a DSP. It's worth the $20. I can tell you that right now. It's also his app that we're always using is the Educar Test and Tune app. The reason why we don't really ever get into too deep in the DSP is because it just takes so long, and there's so many variables. But I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Never say never.
Brian, do you ever have vibrations in the amp rack that causes noise requiring some foam or something at least be placed into?
No.
No, I mean,
no. I gotta be honest with you. Our amp racks are so tight up against things.
yeah.
But I will say this: we test a lot for that. So like, we'll touch it, and if it's moving like on a back where it's going to be metal behind it, if there's any chance that it is going to create noise, we immediately address it before it even gets that far. So it's like we'll check, and if there is potential, then we will put like some roadkill behind it, some roadkill ultimate with a foam pad.
Sometimes the harness that are kind of loose and just like put it in the front.
But yeah, we try. It's just kind of like one of those things we kind of try to do before we get into it or before we let it go. And so, but yeah, I mean, I could see where it could be a problem, but we also use like 10,000 zip ties.
Yeah.
Have you ever used any of the Focal Flax 10-inch subwoofer enclosures for the F-150 or any other pickup trucks for that matter? Yes, we actually have. We've bought the MTI boxes. We've had a couple of those come through here that we've bought, as well as customers have bought for us. And that Focal Flax thin woofer is mighty impressive. It is no joke. That is for sure. So if you're interested in getting one of those, you can buy it preloaded from Focal, which is basically, it's just an MTI box. MTI makes it for Focal here in the U.S.
How often do you use?
Now read it again.
How often do you guys tune systems using mics? Do you use a multi-mic
array? We tune every system with mics. Every system we tune, we use the DMR. I'm sorry, we use, what the hell is it called?
AC10?
No, the
DMRTA.
The DMRTA.
Yeah, but I thought you were talking about.
No. We use the DMRTA. Microphone. Yeah, but no, we always use the DMRTA.
It comes with
the. Well, we've ordered the
Pro,
the 10.
Yeah,
or whatever the heck it is. We never hit record. Oh, that's funny. Oh well. Doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
But no, we always, every system that we tune, we put a microphone in the car. So we have, all right, grab the camera. Show and tell day. I love show and tell day. I love it when you guys ask questions that we can show and tell on. All right, this is 3. Oh, 3. Let's go to 3. All right, so this is our grab case. So inside this case,
hang on, I'm gonna remove the question so you guys can see it. I don't know where it is.
It's right there. Good job. Oh, I got it. Okay. All right. So right away we have the plug for the DMRTA right here. So that sits on top. This is the cable to go to the laptop. What is going to be this laptop sitting right here. We use a Mac lap. Pull it up a little higher. Just there you go. We use a Mac laptop with our DMRTA, and we use a Windows laptop to tune. So there's always 2 laptops going at the same time. There's also a power strip in here because we're using multiple laptops and the DMRTA. This is the microphone stand that we use. This guy right here. And what this is designed to do, how we use it, is it goes through the seat like this. So this is hanging. The headrest is right here. This sits just like this. Our microphone is on a 45. So this will sit in the car. Oh, let's tighten that up. This will sit in the car just like this, and this will sit on the headrest. So the microphone will be positioned perfectly where we want it. Then we have our giant, long, 10-foot long microphone cable. We have, now these are all various USB to whatever we need for the RTA that we're going to run. We also have a backup microphone in here, just in case we need it. But
what is the DMRTA?
DMRTA is sitting in my toolbox. We have a circuit breaker for the laptop. If we're charging the laptop while we're doing the RTA, we install this because we don't want an AC spike to come through the laptop and screw up the RTA. This is if we're doing a Q-class multi-amp system where we can plug in up to 4 amplifiers at a time. Like a hub. It's a hub. It's because you can multiply them all. The blue cables are for audio control. The black ones are for everybody else. So this is just kind of where we keep all of this stuff. So, because it's nice to have the DMRTA. Oh, you just moved that. My bad. It's nice to have the DMRTA Pro kit, which we do have up there in the blue case. Up, pan up. That blue case right there is the DMRTA Pro. Yeah. But, you know, we use this in a hurry. But, you know, it's like anything else. You figure out what you need to do.
Now, even just a regular radio with no DSP, we use the audio control. I test mic just to give it a little bit of tune.
And I'll just sit here and hold it.
Yeah.
And look at it and do my thing.
Do you think? All right.
Hello from Australia. Is the only difference between the LC6i and the LC7i the AccuBase feature? Yes, it is. That is the only difference. Correct. Advantage, disadvantage, difference between audio control D612 and the JL VXI 608 amp. Buffering. Is it buffering?
No.
Honestly, I mean, I don't really know. I think the 612 is more power. Yeah. I mean, given my choices between the two, I am going to take the audio control, but I do like the VXI. So for me, it just depends what I'm doing. I really like the VXI though. So I mean, I might buy, like for me, I get the 8 channel personally. If I'm going to buy something, I buy the VXI 8 channel. But I don't know. I mean, it just depends what you're doing. There again, download the software, see which one you like, because they're two totally different softwares, that's for sure. And not everyone can listen. The VXI took me a minute to wrap my head around, and I look at this stuff all the time. But once I wrapped my head around it, I was like, oh, I kind of like this. Some people don't like it. Friends of mine, I thought, oh, I hate that software. Blah, blah. But there again, the same guys say the same thing about audio control. So it's just like whatever works for you.
All right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not sure if it's even on. Honestly, sometimes it feels like it's on and doesn't, and sometimes it's off.
What are we talking about?
My amplifier and the subs. My amp and subs.
Oh. Whew. Well, okay. Couple things that could be the problem. One, what did you tap into to get the signal for the subwoofer? That's usually where the first problem lies. So for example, let's say you had a Chrysler 300 or a Challenger or a Charger. Mm-hmm. Pick either one. It doesn't matter at all, the same car. If you tapped into the rear speakers to power your subwoofer, even on a base model stereo, there's no bass in those. So you're not going to get any bass in your subwoofer. The bass on those, even though it's just a factory radio, comes out of the front speakers. You have to tap that one. Even though they're both 6x9s, they both look the same. They play two totally different sounds. Okay? Which we shot a demo video of for the IRTA on Thursday that we put up. We showed you the difference between a front speaker and a rear speaker and the sound difference between the two. They looked almost the same. However, the front was about 3 times louder, twice as loud. It was a lot louder. So what could be happening is you have it tapped to a speaker that has no bass at all. And then your subwoofer's back there and it's trying to do something and it can't. So without knowing what you got for signal, that'd be step one. Step two is, let's say you did tap into the right thing, and let's say you grab the left and a right, which some people still do. If you got the polarity wrong on either one of them, so let's say you grab the left, you grab the right, but you got this one backwards, then you fed those into the subwoofer thinks it's only going to look at a mono signal anyways, but now you have both of them out of polarity with one another, and that's going to cancel all the bass that the amplifier is trying to produce because it's backwards. It's noise canceling at this point. The other option is that the subwoofer and the amplifier are just too small to pass through into the car where you're at. In which case, if you're in the trunk and that's where the subwoofer is, and if you can hear it, but then you can't hear it when you close, there's just not enough energy that's going to pass through the car and give you bass. Off the top of my head, that's all I got.
Did we talk about the battery? Maybe a fuse is loose in the.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there again,
sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off.
From the fact of like it's on, but I'm not getting any sound. Why would that be?
Right. Also, just check your fuse under the hood in the battery.
Ultima's going to be the same way. The front speaker is the sub, the back speaker is not, unless it's a Bose system, in which case you need to tap into the rear speaker and not the door speakers.
So they have a aftermarket radio. So it's an RCA.
Sony aftermarket radio.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have an RCA run back. So at that point, there again, is the amplifier on? Can you open the trunk and hear the sound? It's an Ultima. So pop the trunk, stick your head in there. Do you hear bass? If you don't hear bass, there's something going on somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it no? Okay. It has a Sony radio in it. Did they plug into the rear or the right output?
Sub, or if it has the rear sub, you gotta like switch it in the settings on the radio.
Right, but are they plugged into the right RCA? Do they have a high pass filter on? Yeah. There's a lot of things that can go wrong.
It is. You have to go.
You know, if we want to start, figure out, is the amplifier on? Which digital multimeter, put some voltmeters on, see if it's on. But I mean, if you open the trunk, you don't hear any bass at all and the music is playing, then there's something wrong with the amplifier. If you hear bass, but you don't hear it when the trunk's closed, you just don't have a loud enough system.
All right.
Dean, go ahead.
Dean, you're always talking about waiting a 6-channel amplifier that has staggered power. Well, Sundown Solid 2000.6 channel has it. Check it out. Ooh.
Alpine also does it too.
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of these is they're this big.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're this big.
Yeah.
And that's not solving any problems for me. I need it to be this big. So, but no, I will check it out and see what it does. But a 2000 seems kind of big. And it's only 6 channels. See, there again, I don't want 150 by 6 and 500 by 2. Or 150 by 4 and 500 by 2. You know what I mean? That's too much. Yeah. I need like 50 and 80.
50 and 80?
Yeah, or maybe 100.
All right. When tuning my Helix DSP3 with my laptop, I get noise through the system. Only way to get rid of it is what? Rely on laptop battery only.
So if you saw when we were going through the brown little kit there, that little tiny piece is a circuit breaker.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting noise from the charge in your laptop. So that's a good way to blow up your DSP. So
yeah.
You definitely don't want to be plugging your laptop into the wall while you're adjusting it at all.
Do you have it in the DNF filter?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
No.
But this, which I have no idea what it's called. Hold on. But this little guy here is designed, which you can just do laptop circuit breaker or laptop short circuit. And this is designed, you know, USB. But this is designed to prevent you from blowing up your DSP or another device for that matter when connected to power on your laptop. But I still recommend making sure you have a fully charged battery and don't plug your laptop into the wall while you're tuning your car.
Right.
It's not a good idea. We don't do it.
No, just charge the battery first.
We have this just in case
we're
like too stupid to know we had to charge our laptop. And it happens. That's why we have it.
It happens. That is correct. What is the agenda?
Oh, for the Rockford trip.
Yeah.
Well,
talk about that.
So there is an agenda.
It is.
Yeah, there is. Hold on.
It's party on Monday, party on
Tuesday,
to
the left, party to
Wednesday.
the right. Take your pants off, go crazy. Right.
I don't want to do that.
All right. So here's how this is going to go down, and I'll read you our actual itinerary as far as we know it.
All right.
We get in. We're probably going to do some lunch. We're going to do a meet and greet.
Yep.
Then we're going to do some storyboarding as far as the criteria that we want to film. Lunch. So not necessarily in that order. We're going to go over to the RTTI, Rockford Technical Training Institute. We're going to see tech support, which is right next to RTTI, and the NPD site. I have no idea what that is. So the idea there is to get there and kind of do an overall quick tour so that we can get an idea. We can brainstorm and storyboard the kind of content that we want to create. Then we're going to go to the speakers and amps. So we're going to go to the boom room, the speaker lab, lunch. We're going to look at the power cube. For those of you who have never seen one of those, the RATS module, which, yeah, you'll see. And then we're going to do apps and DSP. Then we have a filming session for Rockford. We're going to be a guest on one of the shows that they do, and then lunch. Then we'll be back in the studio. We have demos, vehicles, marketing, sales support, and then we have a big dinner at 5 o'clock. We're also hoping to do an interview with Bill Jackson, the CEO, president of Rockford Fosgate. So this is just an overview. Like the problem is that, you know, when we talk to a manufacturer about this stuff, we just kind of set this stuff up. And like, who's been to Rockford? Has anybody been to Rockford before, or been on a tour or had any access to it? No. So we did get they did give us a video that is like private as hell, that we got to look at to kind of get an idea of what we're stepping into so that we can do some pre-thinking as far as what we want.
Yeah.
But we have, I mean,
what we do is totally different. So,
well, if you saw the kicker video, you know, the kicker and the audio control, you kind of have an idea of what we're going
but that's
for.
the style.
But the idea is to do our stuff, to get our take. We want to bring you guys in and show you there's real people working there and they do cool stuff. And it's just not a warehouse full of anything, you know, like a lot of people think.
All right. Joy, yes, thank you. The only reason I asked because I bought the laptop used and the battery only lasts about an hour. Yeah.
No problem. You know what you could do?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't think about this, and I know, but do you have a jump box? See, this is a Halo jump box. The Halo jump box has a power supply built into it, an AC power. The other day, when I was tuning a car, my battery in my Windows machine, because I didn't charge it, went dead. And I was like, crap! I grabbed this, plugged it into here, set it in the car. I was able to finish my tune without having to plug it into the wall. So there's always a way.
It's always a way. This is the way.
This is the way. Take off your mask. Whoa.
All right. You have some trunk vents.
Yeah.
What does Dean and Fernando choose to do to address noise trunk flaps?
Leave them alone. I mean, they're going to make noise. Yeah. Hey,
which ones?
The things in the back that go like in the F-150s, like when we have the back seat out and you hear that.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing you can do.
No, because the cars have to breathe.
Yes.
They have to breathe. Listen, man, everything is a compromise. Everything is a compromise.
Honestly, I don't think that you hear it with that type
in a trunk.
Noise.
I've never really heard them in a trunk, but we've heard them in pickup trucks before.
I mean, I have.
But I also just turned the volume up louder. So I honestly have never had anyone complain about them, but yes, when we've had back seats out and I'm like, what is that? Oh yeah, it's those stupid flaps. But you got to leave them in. You just got to leave them in. That's the problem. But and the other problem with them in is like you say, okay, no problem. I'll just put a piece of foam around them. All right, so it has to be a piece of closed cell foam because it has to be able to breathe, but it can't suck up water because believe it or not, there is water mist that comes into those. If you put a piece of open cell foam there, which is really what it needs to be, so that it can still breathe because closed cell foam, it's not going to breathe. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know what to do. So yeah, no, I'm with you. It sucks.
Yeah. All right. Hi from Australia. Thank you for watching. Using CarPlay, Apple Music, and using ForceSync system, should there be such a variance in sound quality between different tracks? Using audio control D6 1200 and the focal flags all around.
All right, hold on. Using CarPlay, Apple Music, and a ForceSync system, should there be? All right, so the question would be, how did you integrate it in the ForceSync system? Yes. That'd be number one.
Yeah.
Did you use an Amp Pro or just high level out of the ForceSync system? That's number one. Number two is, regardless of whether you're using Apple Music or whose ever service you want to pay for, Amazon, you name it, doesn't matter. There is going to be variances in tracks, especially now, because some of the Apple Music is high res, some of it is not. Plus, like if I go from listening to current music to my 70s, 80s, and 90s rock, there's a volume differential that is huge. Like these guys are quiet as can be, and boom, immediately if I switch to Maroon 5, it's blasting me out of the car. So that, my friend, is why you have to have some float room on the volume knob. Meaning you have to, when tuning an amplifier, you can't just say, this is as loud as I'm going to play it. Because if it is, well, what are you going to do when the quiet music is being played? Well, I kind of need to. So yes, there has to be. We'll sometimes see a good 5 to 8 clicks on the volume knob. Difference between the type of music that I'm listening to. I don't know if that's what you were asking, but that's what I got.
All right. Rodney, if I install an audio control D6-1200 and the LC 1.1500, can I use the DSP in the D6-1200 to control the signal from the LC 1.1500? Probably a dumb question, but I'm new.
No, it's not a dumb question at all. That's actually a really good question, and the answer is yes. When you get the D6-1200, you'll notice it has 6 inputs and 2 outputs. Those 2 outputs are designed to go off to the sub amp, so that, yes, you basically will set your sub amplifier's crossover up. You'll turn it all the way up, keep your gains low, and then you will use all the controls on the D6-1200 to control the crossover, the time alignment. If you want Acubase or you don't want Acubase, it's all controlled through the software on the D6-1200. So yes, no, that's a wonderful thing.
All right.
However, one real quick thing on that, I will recommend don't get the ARC3 for that. Get the ARC1 and plug it into the 1500. So use the bass knob for the 1500 and not that. Unless you got to do preset 1 through 5. If you're a preset guy, fine, get the ARC3. But I much prefer using the bass knob in the sub amps. That's just a personal preference. Okay, go on.
All right. I'm just curious how.
Dean, on the Sundown Solid Amp, the rating for 4 ohms is 100, 150, and 200. Dimensions are 14 by 15 inches. So it's not too bad. 15 inches is still not big.
I mean, it's not that big. 15 inches, man.
That's still a lot of power.
Oh no, it's definitely a lot of power. 15 inches.
I mean, that's that big.
Yeah,
that's a big amp.
I mean, how big is this 6-1200? 15 inches?
No, I was gonna say we have one up here, but okay. It's a shame. Okay, yeah. But no, they're again 100, 152. That's a lot of power.
It is a lot of power.
That's a lot of power. Because I'm definitely not wanting to run 100 watts in my tweeters.
Nope.
I have a Moscone 6 to 8 V8. It has an SP diff, multi, and an AMAS installed. Nice. In order to Bluetooth stream to the AMAS, do I have it hooked up optically? I have looked everywhere and found no info. Well, the AMAS. So the AMAS 96K,
yes.
Which it has, I think it's just optical out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just optical out.
Yeah, it's just in and optical out.
Optical out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I thought that was an out. I guess that's an in.
No, this is an in.
Yeah. So yeah, it has to be optical out. But yeah.
All right.
However, if you can't, if you all right, so if you have a question of Moscone and you can't get an answer, just give Orca. That's Orca. Go to Orca. Orca like the fish. Orca USA.
Orca Designs.
Orca Designs. And you'll probably get a hold of a gentleman named Sage or Nick. And both of them will be great gentlemen and would love to answer your question for you because that is their job.
Hello from Maryland. What's up, X-Man?
Nice bottle of cold Voss water would be wonderful.
Components, any good?
Never heard of them.
No, really?
Rap? No.
Really?
No, have you?
No.
All right, there. Orca was a mean whale. Free Willy. Willy was not mean. It's Free Willy.
My AMAS is different. It's installed in the DSP. Oh,
that's what I thought. It's the chip that goes inside of it.
Yeah, totally different.
There again. If you have any questions about that, by all means, give Sage a call.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their job. Their job is to answer these questions like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to find stuff on Moscone. There's none of it. You done?
All right, we're done.
You want me to take this over? What time is it? Is it time?
Yes.
I don't know. Where's the clock?
Dude.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, shush.
We've been doing a few shows in this, you know.
Oh, give me a break. I got nothing, man. I didn't do any.
No,
like,
perfectly fine. I got it right.
You
here.
got.
Check it
Okay.
out.
All right. Let's go. What? You're 2, right? No, I'm 2. You're 4. All right. You're 4.
It's okay.
All right. Can we get rid of this?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
There you go. Let's get rid of that too. Hey, there you go. Hey, listen, guys. If you're interested in picking up any cool 5-star apparel, you can find that at dnfswag.com.
Mm-hmm.
Click on the next one there. And if you're interested in finding cool tools that we use, no,
I didn't get the tools. I thought you had the tools.
That is so sad.
Uh,
Hold on.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you're interested in finding the cool tools that we use soon, the home of the IRTA tool will be located at DNF Tool Drawer. That's dnftooldrower.com. Hey, man, it's been a Saturday night. Thank you guys for tuning in early on us. It's been wonderful. It's been great to have you. We love doing this. Monday, we'll be back again. So our schedule, just for those of you that are curious, all next week will be normal. So we'll have all our shows dropping next week. We are going to preempt the Mazda Miata with the Epicenter micro video because we just want to get that out. It's really cool. And it'll be shipping within the next 30 days. So we want to let you guys see how it works, feel for it, all that other fun stuff. So that'll be out probably Wednesday of next week, and then we'll get back to that. Now, next week, we'll be here, like I said, all week. So we'll do Monday. We'll do Friday morning news. We'll do Saturday. I'll do the Hi-Fi Vegas show Thursday nights. The week after that, we don't know what the heck is going to happen. There will be no Monday show for sure. There'll be no Monday show. However, we're going to try to do a Tuesday show. Once we're over there in Arizona, the plan is to at some point come on and do some form of a show on YouTube to make up for it. However, we are going to have compilation videos throughout the whole week, kind of like what we did when we were on vacation, where we just had like the group of videos from previous installs we did. I'm going to put a couple of those together for the week, so there will be those to watch while we're gone. So there won't be everyone all mad at me because they don't have anything to watch. So stay tuned. We'll have those up for you guys to play and enjoy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we got. And then, of course, Saturday we come back, and I don't know if we're going to want to do a live show after doing like 10 hours on a plane. I don't know. We might. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So we'll just play that one by ear. So.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been fun as always. We'll see you later. Oh, by the way, if you're going to go out tonight, be smart, please. For the love of God, be smart. Hey, and if someone is standing in the parking space you want, that was hit it too soon. Hey, if someone is standing in the parking space you want, just let them stay there because that guy might be crazy and have a gun, and he might kill you for it. Welcome to Florida. Thank you for playing. Get your pet spayed and neutered, do all that fun stuff. Uber or Lyft, that would be a better idea, right? You wouldn't even need to park.
Just let them go.
Bye.